there is a power that surpasses physical strength or loud words. It is the power of self-control, the ability to govern your emotions, to master your impulses, and to choose your response rather than be controlled by reaction. In this world, many people mistake reaction for strength. They think to respond immediately, to defend themselves loudly, or to retaliate is a sign of courage or power. But true strength, the kind that builds character and secures your peace, is found in restraint. It is in the silence between the stimulus and your response where your real power lies. Self-control is not just about holding back. It is about holding onto your dignity, your purpose, your peace. When someone provokes you, when words are thrown your way like arrows meant to wound, your first instinct might be to strike back. But every time you react in anger or frustration, you give away a piece of your authority. You hand over the steering wheel of your life to another person's toxicity. The moment you choose to pause, to breathe, and to think before you speak or act, you reclaim your power. Imagine your emotions as a raging river. When you react impulsively, it's like you're jumping into the floodwaters without a plan. You get swept away by anger, hurt, or frustration. But when you practice self-control, you are stepping back from the edge, becoming the calm observer who directs the flow rather than being tossed about by it. This takes strength. It takes discipline. It takes a deep understanding that your peace is more valuable than winning a momentary argument or proving a point. The scriptures and wise teachers across history have emphasized the importance of mastering oneself. Proverbs tells us that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. That quiet holding back is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is power in its purest form. It means you are in control of your destiny, not subject to the chaos around you. This is what makes leaders, not just in the church, but in every area of life, people who know how to remain calm in the storm, who do not react to every slight or insult, but who move with purpose and control. When you cultivate self-control, you protect your spirit from being tossed like a ship on turbulent seas. You keep your heart free from bitterness, your mind free from confusion, and your soul free from distraction. This clarity allows you to focus on what really matters, your goals, your relationships, your growth. It allows you to choose silence over shouting, grace over resentment, and peace over conflict. Self-control is a muscle that grows stronger the more you exercise it. It is not easy. When you feel the heat of anger rising, when you want to lash out or defend yourself, that is the moment to pause and choose differently. It is a decision to value your future more than your immediate feelings. Every time you choose silence instead of reaction, every time you walk away from a heated exchange instead of engaging in battle, you are training yourself to be a stronger person. Moreover, self-control shapes the environment around you. When you refuse to react impulsively, you set a standard for how others treat you. You show that you will not be baited or manipulated. This quiet strength can disarm conflict and even turn enemies into bystanders. People respect those who do not lose their temper, who respond thoughtfully instead of explosively. They recognize that self-control is a mark of maturity and integrity. It is important to understand that self-control is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It's about acknowledging your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. It's about processing your pain and anger constructively instead of destructively. This is how you cut off toxic influences, not with loud confrontation, but with quiet dignity. You do not need to explain yourself or defend your decision aggressively. You simply choose to walk away because you value your peace more than any temporary satisfaction of being right. In your personal and professional life, you will encounter people who try to pull you into their drama, their negativity, and their chaos. The strongest response you can give is often no response at all. When you practice self-control, you refuse to feed the fire. You refuse to be drawn into battles that do not serve your purpose. This is a powerful form of respect for yourself and it commands respect from others. Remember, the ability to control yourself in moments of provocation is not just a personal victory, it is a spiritual one. It is evidence that you are growing beyond the natural human tendency to react and are stepping into a higher way of living. It is a testimony that you are becoming a person who governs your spirit, who walks in peace even in the midst of storms, and who knows that true power is not loud or explosive, but steady and silent. So, next time you are faced with provocation, instead of reacting, choose to master yourself. Choose to hold your peace with quiet strength. Your greatest power lies not in the noise you make, but in the calm you keep. That is the power of self-control, and that power will transform your life. Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw around our lives to protect what matters most: our peace, our time, and our emotional health. But setting boundaries doesn't always have to be loud, confrontational, or dramatic. In fact, some of the strongest boundaries are the silent ones. These are the boundaries that don't need to be announced or explained in detail. They simply exist because you have decided that your peace is non-negotiable. Many people struggle with the idea of boundaries because they confuse them with rejection or cruelty. They fear that if they cut someone off silently, without an argument, without an explanation, they will be seen as cold or uncaring, but nothing could be further from the truth. Silent boundaries are actually an act of profound love for yourself. They are a way of saying, I will not allow chaos or toxicity to rob me of my joy. When you create silent boundaries, you stop investing your energy in people or situations that drain you. You don't need to call out every offense, argue every point, or defend your decision. Instead, you quietly disengage. You don't respond to provocations. You don't show up where you are not wanted or where your presence causes more harm than good. You simply remove yourself, and in doing so, you protect your spirit. This kind of boundary is powerful because it does not invite drama or backlash. It is a boundary that says, I respect myself enough not to tolerate negativity, even if that means silence. You don't have to justify your choice because your peace is your priority. When you stop reacting to toxic people or harmful situations, you deny them the power to control your emotions or dictate your mood. Silent boundaries are also deeply educational. They teach others how to treat you without you having to say a word. People learn through your actions more than your words. When you stop engaging with negativity, it sends a clear message: you will not be available for their drama or disrespect. It challenges others to reflect on their behavior and make changes if they want to maintain a relationship with you. These boundaries are essential in today's world where distractions and conflicts are constant. Social media, workplace tensions, family dispute. All these environments can easily overwhelm us if we do not protect our space. Silent boundaries are your shield, guarding you from emotional exhaustion and mental clutter. They allow you to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your health, and your peace of mind. Another vital aspect of silent boundaries is that they preserve your dignity. When you cut off toxic influences quietly, you avoid the bitterness that often follows public confrontations. You keep your heart free from resentment and your mind free from replaying hurtful interactions. This internal peace is priceless. It is the foundation of a joyful life. Learning to set silent boundaries also requires courage. It means you must be willing to prioritize yourself, even when others don't understand. It means accepting that some relationships are not meant to last, and that's okay. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and others is to walk away silently and confidently. Silent boundaries do not mean you are running away from problems. Rather, they mean you are choosing your battles wisely. You understand that not every situation requires your energy or response. You recognize that some people are not ready to respect your limits, and that's their issue, not yours. By protecting your peace silently, you demonstrate maturity and emotional intelligence. There is also a spiritual dimension to silent boundaries. They align with the wisdom of knowing when to let go. Sometimes God calls us to step away from certain people or circumstances, not with noise or confrontation, but with quiet obedience to what is best for our soul. When you honor this calling, you create space for new blessings, healthier relationships, and deeper peace. The silence in setting boundaries can be loud in its effect. It disrupts toxic cycles and breaks unhealthy patterns. It refuses to feed negativity with your reaction or attention. Instead, it redirects your energy towards healing, growth, and positivity. This is how you build a life that is not easily shaken by outside forces. In practice, setting silent boundaries means making decisions like not answering calls or messages from people who bring negativity, not attending events that drain your spirit, or simply distancing yourself emotionally from drama. It means valuing your time enough to say no without guilt and choosing to be around those who uplift you. Ultimately, silent boundaries are about respect for yourself and respect for others. By honoring your limits without harsh words or conflict, you set a powerful example. You show that peace is not a prize to be won through battles, but a state to be protected through wise choices. So, embrace the strength of silent boundaries. Let them be your armor in a world that often demands too much of your emotional bandwidth. Protect your peace quietly but firmly. Remember that you do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing to cut off toxicity. Your peace is sacred, and silent boundaries are the guardians that keep it safe. Energy is one of the most valuable resources you possess. It's invisible, yet it affects everything you do, every decision you make, and every relationship you build. Unlike money or possessions, energy cannot be replenished easily once it's drained. That is why guarding your energy is not just a good idea. It's a necessity for a life of purpose, peace, and progress. The truth is, how you manage your energy determines the quality of your life. Too often, people waste their energy reacting to negativity, engaging in conflicts that don't serve them, or trying to fix things that are beyond their control. They get caught up in toxic conversations, stressful situations, or people who do not add value to their lives. And in the end, they find themselves exhausted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from their goals. This is not how you were designed to live. You were created to thrive, to move forward with strength, and to shine even in difficult circumstances. But to do that, you must learn to guard your energy wisely. Guarding your energy begins with awareness. You must recognize what drains you and what nourishes you. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every interaction, every thought, every emotion either deposits into your account or withdraws from it. Toxic people, drama, and unnecessary conflicts are withdrawals. Positive relationships, meaningful work, and peaceful moments are deposits. If you keep withdrawing without making deposits, your energy balance will be negative, and eventually you will be bankrupt in spirit and motivation. One of the greatest acts of wisdom is to protect your energy by limiting your exposure to negativity. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or run away from responsibilities, but it means you choose carefully where to invest your mental and emotional resources. You have to say no to situations and people that drain you. This is not selfishness. It is self-preservation. When you protect your energy, you create space for what truly matters: your dreams, your family, your personal growth. Energy management also involves setting clear priorities. You cannot do everything for everyone. The world will demand your attention, your time, and your emotional capacity, but you are not obligated to give it all away. Choose where to focus your energy with intention. Invest it in people who uplift you, in projects that align with your purpose, and in habits that build you up rather than tear you down. Another key aspect of guarding your energy is learning to respond rather than react. When something challenges you, you have a choice. You can respond thoughtfully or react impulsively. Reacting wastes energy because it is driven by emotions and often leads to further conflict or regret. Responding, on the other hand, conserves energy because it is deliberate and measured. It allows you to handle situations with grace and clarity, saving your strength for what truly deserves it. Physical energy is also part of the equation. How you care for your body impacts your emotional and mental stamina. Rest, nutrition, exercise, and mindfulness are not luxuries. They are essentials for maintaining high energy levels. When your body is healthy and well cared for, your mind is sharper, your spirit is stronger, and your capacity to handle life's challenges increases dramatically. Guarding your energy means honoring your body as the temple that houses your spirit. Guarding your energy requires boundaries. Boundaries are the walls that keep out negativity and protect your well-being. They might mean limiting time spent with toxic individuals, reducing exposure to stressful environments, or saying no to commitments that overextend you. Boundaries are not barriers to connection. They are gateways to healthier relationships and greater focus. When you establish boundaries, you declare that your energy is precious and not to be squandered. It's important to understand that guarding your energy is not a one-time event but a daily practice. Every day presents opportunities to either guard or waste your energy. Sometimes it means making difficult choices, such as stepping back from a toxic friendship or saying no to extra responsibilities. Other times it means small but significant decisions, turning off social media, taking a walk to clear your mind, or choosing positive thoughts over negative ones. When you guard your energy wisely, you become unstoppable. You develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. You cultivate a mindset of abundance where you recognize that your energy is a gift that can be nurtured and grown. And most importantly, you create a life that is rich in purpose and peace, because you are no longer drained by what doesn't serve you. The spiritual dimension of guarding your energy cannot be ignored. Many faith traditions teach that your spirit must be protected from negativity to thrive. In the Bible, there are numerous calls to be careful about what you allow into your heart and mind, because out of it flows the life you live. Guarding your energy is a form of stewardship over the life God has given you. It honors the body, mind, and spirit He has created and sets you up to fulfill your divine purpose. Remember, energy is not infinite. You cannot give what you do not have. If you are constantly drained, you will have little left to give to your dreams, your family, or your community. But when you guard your energy, you become a source of strength, inspiration, and light for yourself and those around you. You create a legacy of wisdom that says, I valued myself enough to protect my peace. So today, begin the practice of guarding your energy wisely. Identify what drains you and take steps to minimize it. Invest in what nourishes you and surround yourself with positivity. Learn to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Honor your body with rest and care. Set boundaries that protect your well-being. When you do this, you will find that your life is not only more peaceful, but also more powerful. You will walk through every challenge with a strength that cannot be shaken because you have mastered the most important resource you possess, your energy. There is a common misconception in our culture that walking away from a conflict, a toxic relationship, or a challenging situation is a sign of weakness. We've been taught to stand our ground at all costs, to fight for what we want, and to never back down. While courage and resilience are important, there is a deeper form of strength that often gets overlooked: the strength to walk away when the battle is no longer serving you. Walking away is not an act of defeat, it is an act of wisdom. Walking away means you have recognized that some fights are not worth your energy, your peace, or your future. It means you have the insight to see beyond the immediate discomfort and the courage to protect your long-term well-being. It means you are choosing to preserve yourself rather than prove a point. This takes a level of maturity and self-awareness that many people never develop because they confuse perseverance with stubbornness. When you walk away, you are not running from your problems or responsibilities. Instead, you are making a conscious decision to disengage from what is harmful or unproductive. You understand that your life is bigger than the drama or conflict in front of you. You know that some doors are meant to close so that better ones can open. Walking away is an acknowledgement that not every battle is yours to fight, and some relationships are better left behind for your own growth. This kind of wisdom is rooted in self-respect. It is the understanding that you deserve peace, respect, and happiness, and that clinging to toxic situations only steals those from you. Walking away silently and confidently sends a powerful message, not only to others but to yourself, that you value your life enough to refuse anything less than what honors your spirit. Walking away is also an act of faith. It is trusting that by stepping back, you are creating space for something better to enter your life. It is believing that God, the universe, or your inner wisdom has a greater plan for you beyond the struggle you are facing. This faith gives you the strength to let go of control and the hope to move forward with confidence. One of the reasons walking away is so difficult is because it often involves leaving behind people or situations we have invested in emotionally. There can be feelings of guilt, fear, or uncertainty. What if they don't change? What if walking away means losing a part of ourselves? But the truth is, holding on to toxic relationships or harmful patterns doesn't make you stronger. It keeps you stuck. Walking away allows you to break free from cycles that limit your growth and to reclaim your personal power. It is important to recognize that walking away does not require a dramatic confrontation or an explanation. Sometimes the most powerful way to leave is silently, without bitterness or anger. This silent departure preserves your dignity and keeps your heart free from resentment. It also removes the opportunity for further conflict or manipulation, which can drain your energy and spirit. When you choose to walk away wisely, you also create boundaries that protect your future. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but fences that keep your peace in. Walking away sets a boundary that says, "I will not tolerate harm or disrespect." It teaches others how to treat you and helps you maintain relationships that are healthy and life-giving. There is a difference between running away from problems and walking away from toxicity. Running away is impulsive and driven by fear, while walking away is deliberate and driven by wisdom. Walking away is a strategic retreat that positions you to return stronger or to find a better path. It requires reflection, courage, and a deep sense of self-worth. Throughout history, many great leaders and visionaries have walked away from situations that no longer served them. They did not see walking away as failure, but as a necessary step toward greater achievement. In your own life, walking away can be the first step toward healing, growth, and new opportunities. It is also important to understand that walking away is a personal choice that you must make for yourself. No one else can decide when it is time for you to leave a situation. This requires listening to your inner voice, trusting your instincts, and honoring your feelings. Sometimes, the silence that follows walking away is filled with peace and clarity, even if the world around you is loud with questions or judgment. Walking away is a gift you give to yourself. It is a declaration that you will no longer be held hostage by pain, conflict, or negativity. It opens the door for self-discovery, restoration, and joy. When you walk away with grace and confidence, you show that your life is not defined by conflict, but by your ability to rise above it. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never leave, but those who know when to leave. Strength is found not only in standing firm, but in walking away with wisdom. So if you find yourself in a place that diminishes your spirit, do not be afraid to walk away silently. Protect your peace, honor your worth, and trust that greater things await on the other side. Peace is more than just the absence of conflict. It is a state of being, a deep and unshakable calm that resides in the heart and mind regardless of external circumstances. Many people chase victory through arguments, confrontations, or proving themselves right. But true victory is not loud or boisterous. It is quiet, powerful, and enduring. It is the peace that comes when you refuse to be shaken by negativity, when you choose to rise above reactions, and when you protect your inner sanctuary no matter what storms rage around you. In a world filled with chaos and conflict, peace is the ultimate triumph. It is a victory that no one can take away from you because it is born from within. It is the fruit of self-control, wisdom, and courage combined. When you choose peace, you are declaring that your well-being and spiritual health are more important than temporary satisfaction from engaging in battles that ultimately drain your soul. Peace is a choice that requires strength. It means choosing silence over shouting, calm over chaos, and understanding over anger. This choice is not always easy, especially when provoked or wronged. But it is a choice that elevates you above the fray. It is the mark of a mature spirit that refuses to be defined by conflict or negativity. Peace is the proof that you have mastered yourself and are no longer at the mercy of circumstances or other people's behavior. This victory of peace also protects you. When you react in anger or frustration, you open the door for ongoing conflict and pain. But when you respond with peace, you close that door and create space for healing and resolution. Peace is a shield for your heart. It guards against bitterness, resentment, and regret. It allows you to move forward with clarity and hope rather than being trapped in cycles of hurt. Furthermore, peace is contagious. When you embody peace, you influence the environment around you. Your calm presence can diffuse tension and inspire others to seek harmony rather than discord. You become a beacon of stability in a world that often feels unstable. This is not only a blessing to yourself, but also a gift to your family, your community, and your workplace. Choosing peace does not mean you ignore injustice or accept harmful behavior. Rather, it means you address these issues with a spirit of grace and wisdom. You stand firm in your values and boundaries without resorting to hostility. Peace empowers you to confront challenges thoughtfully with a mindset focused on solutions rather than blame. It allows you to maintain your integrity while advocating for what is right. The peace that is the ultimate victory is also deeply spiritual. Many faith traditions speak of peace as a divine gift, a calm that surpasses understanding. It is a place where the soul rests, even amid trials. Cultivating this peace requires connection to something greater than ourselves, whether that is God, a higher purpose, or the inner light of wisdom and compassion. This connection sustains you when the world tries to pull you into conflict. To live in peace is to live in victory every day. It is to know that no matter what challenges come your way, you have the power to remain unshaken. You have the power to keep your heart pure, your mind focused, and your spirit strong. Peace is the foundation upon which a life of joy, success, and fulfillment is built. This kind of peace also leads to freedom. When you are at peace, you are free from the chains of anger, fear, and resentment. You are free to pursue your dreams, to love fully, and to live authentically. This freedom is a reward that comes only to those who choose peace over reaction, who choose silence over noise, who choose calm over chaos. The journey to peace requires patience and practice. It is not an instant fix, but a lifelong pursuit. It involves forgiving others, forgiving yourself, and letting go of grudges that weigh you down. It involves daily decisions to respond with grace and understanding, even when it is difficult. It involves building habits that nurture your soul: prayer, meditation, gratitude, and mindfulness. Remember, peace is not passive. It is a dynamic and powerful force that transforms your life. It is the ultimate victory because it means you have won the most important battle, the battle within yourself. No external victory can compare to the triumph of a peaceful heart and mind. So, when faced with provocation, when tempted to react or engage in conflict, choose peace. Choose the silent strength that protects your spirit and preserves your joy. Choose the victory that cannot be stolen, diminished, or destroyed. Embrace peace as your ultimate triumph and live every day as a testament to the power of quiet strength. In closing, remember this: your peace, your energy, your dignity, they are treasures too precious to waste on conflict and negativity. To choose silence is not to be weak, it is to be wise. It is the strength of knowing when to step away, the courage to protect your spirit, and the faith to trust that better awaits beyond the noise. When you guard your peace with silent boundaries, you declare to the world, and to yourself, that your life will no longer be held hostage by drama or toxic relationships. Don't react. Don't engage in battles that only drain you. Instead, cut off the negativity silently, with grace and confidence. Walk away not because you're defeated, but because you are victorious in your wisdom. Guard your energy like the precious gift it is. And above all, seek peace, not just as a momentary pause, but as the ultimate victory that sustains your soul and shapes your destiny. So, stand firm in your silence, protect your heart, walk forward with strength. Because when you do, you become unstoppable. You become a living example of the power that comes from choosing peace over chaos, wisdom over reaction, and silence over unnecessary strife. This is your time. This is your peace. This is your victory.